Dear students, it is the third video for week 7, and we are covering in this video the pillars of the state. In second video I explained little bit about the executives, that their management. It includes president and the prime minister plus the cabinet, which is selected from the members of the National Assembly, and those people, a team of ministers, are the head of the different major departments of the country. Prime Minister remains their leader, and for a prime minister it is necessary to exhibit the majority favor, otherwise the prime minister may be relinquished. If he loses the majority favor, he may no more prime minister. Well, in the third stage, we talk about legislature. Legislature is called, in Urdu the word is muknanna, or a body that shows of the will of people and expresses them. It is a body in 1973 may be called Majlis-e-Shura, relating it to the Islamic concept of government. Highly respectable, intelligent and trustworthy people who are the real representative of the nations, they are included as the member of the legislature or Majlis-e-Shura. According to 1973 Constitution, the legislature or the Majlis-e-Shura of Pakistan must be bicameral. Bicameral mean it must have two houses, two portions. ये दो हिस्सों पर मुश्तमिल होगी. The first is called National Assembly. It is the basic or the lower house, and Senate, the upper house. Fine, write it here. National Assembly, National Assembly, and second is Senate. These are, National Assembly is the lower house or Senate is the upper house. These both the bodies are considered to be the highly powerful bodies, that these people make constitutions. They elected the other members like head of the state, also the prime minister, and most of the appointments on a very important offices are made with the consent of the National Assembly. In the Western world, especially in England, legislature mean the Parliament of England is highly powerful and the true representative of the people. Fine, their powers are more than even Prime Minister or Queen of England or the King of England. Well, the selection process of the National Assembly, that members of the National Assembly will be elected by adult suffrage, mean baligh log, the age of 18 will vote for the members of National Assembly. Fine. Normally, for the process of legislature, initially on the ground, political parties are formed. These political parties express their slogans and their uh, ideology among the people, just like PPP, Roti Kapda or Makan. Noon League came with the development of infrastructure and basic facilities. Uh, PTI came with slogans of uh, eradicating corruption and providing equal rights to every citizen, and so are the different manifestos of the different political parties. So, after the political parties, there is uh, a process of election, and Pakistan Election Commission governs those rules. Well, election held, and the people who elect maximum votes in one constituency, they are declared winners and they are deemed to be the members of the National Assembly. Fine. Well, in the National Assembly, there happens uh, again a voting system, the selection of the Speaker National Assembly, Deputy Speaker, and the Leader of the House and the Opposition Leader. Leader of the House means Prime Minister, and the Opposition Leader also uh, happens in the same process. Well, then the members of National Assembly uh, start the initial development on the legislation. Well, National Assembly has 342 seats, out of 272 are elected on first post basis, mean elections held. Candidates who gain major number of votes in a single constituency is nominated as the member of the National or Provincial Assembly. Almost 70 remaining seats, 60 are reserved for women, and 10 seats are for the non-Muslim minorities. And these seats are allocated on the basis of proportional representation, मीन जितनी किसी पार्टी ने नेशनल असेंबली में सीट हासिल किए होते हैं उनको उतने ही नॉन इलेक्टेड मेंबर्स लेकर आने की इजाज़त होती है. Parties that win more than 5% of the directly elected seats, and these seats are allocated to each of the four provinces, federally administrative areas and Islamabad Capital Authority, on the basis of population. The members of the National Assembly serve the Parliament for 5 years, but it is only in once it has happened. Otherwise, mostly the National Assemblies were dissolved by the presidents or the governors in the past, and sometime martial law was imposed. Now, Senate. Senate basically is a permanent legislative body. कानून परमानेंट कानून साझेदार है, which takes equal representation from each of the four provinces. Fine. Uh, and they are the members of the National Assemblies are elected by the respective provincial assemblies. That member of the provincial assemblies elect them. Well, then again election happens and a person is selected as the chairman of the Senate, the person who runs the business of the upper house. Well, according to the constitution, the chairman of the Senate is next in line to the president. He can act as president in absence of the president or in case president is facing a kind of impeachment and has temporarily suspended the business of the clear. In that very case, the president is the chairman senate is the acting prime minister. uh, Federal areas, tribal areas, Islamabad capital authority also have two representatives in the senate, which makes the total of 100 members, whereas 14 members are elected by the each provincial assembly. Out of all this, 14 members are elected by each provincial assemblies. 8 members are elected from the federal administrative areas by the members of National Assembly. 2 members, 1 woman and 1 technocrat is elected from the Federal Capital Authority by the members of National Assembly. 4 women and 4 technocrats are elected by the members of each provincial assembly. The term of the members of Senate is 6 years. However, the term of the first group of senators uh, shall retire after completion of the first 3 years. This, well, uh, Senate and National Assembly both has certain powers. Both can, now I'm talking about the process of their business, that what they actually do. Legislation, Senate and National Assembly can initiate and pass legislation except for the money bills. National Assembly has the edge that money bill in easier language are called uh, the matters of taxation, introducing any new duty, clear, they are called bills, money bills. Bill basically is called a करारदाद. जब कोई नई मसला कोई भी मेंबर ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट पेश कर दे तो उसको इस दैट इज इन term is called bill. Well, only National Assembly can approve the federal budget because it is the means prime uh, money bill, mean the matter of the and uh, expenditures and income of the entire country. Well, uh, but in most cases, both the houses work together. If one house passes the bill through majority vote, for example, if National Assembly passes a bill for constitution, it is uh, transmitted to the other house, and if the other house passes that bill and consider it to be satisfactory without amendment, it is then sent to Prime Minister, and Prime Minister shows its assent. Prime Minister उस पर तस्दीक कर देता है, and the bill is then uh, transferred back to the National Assembly, and Law Ministry drafts it and then publish it in the official gazette. Well, there are certain, well, the Prime Minister is required to assent to bills passed by both houses with 10 days. That whatever the bill is passed by both houses, Prime Minister have to show assent. उसको अपनी तस्दीक करनी पड़ती है within a राय, within permission, within 10 days. But in case of certain financial bills, if Prime Minister, president, sorry, it is the word president, not prime minister. Prime minister, so the president has to show assent in the 10 days, whereas in certain cases president has powers to refer the एनग्मेटिक मुतनाज़ा बिलों को वो नेशनल असम्बली या सेनेट को वापस कर सकता है कि इस पर नजरसानी की जाए. Well, in all the situations, National Assembly has the certain powers. For example, if in any province emergency is proclaimed and the provincial assemblies are stopped functioning, then in that very case National Assembly has the power. Both National Assembly means has the power to legislate for that very province, but whatever the legislation National Assembly has made, it shall be effective just for the certain period. Later on, when the provincial assembly is functional, then it is up to them that whether they accept that as constitution or not. Fine. Well, National Assembly, as I have told, both National Assembly and Senate has the responsibilities once again. Selection of the president by the both members of the House. Well, then a certain procedure of removal of the members of, president, prime ministers, or the members of the National Assembly, that for removing of prime minister, it can be if the prime minister loses the confidence of the majority members of the National Assembly, then a resolution for vote in no confidence shall be passed, moved at least not less than 20% members of the National Assembly. If the majority of members of National Assembly shows no confidence in the Prime Minister, simultaneously the Prime Minister is relinquished, mean the person uh, is no more president, and the removal of Prime Minister, and the removal of the president is through impeachment, that members of National Assembly and the provincial assemblies can move the application of impeachment and removal of president in written. Well, this is all about the process of selection and manner of occupying the office and removal of the uh, legislatures and also the executives. Thank you very much.